Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Jennifer, and this is Jennifer Turning the Page. So, the last time that I posted, I talked to you about how I had had some episodes with some really terrible chest pain, and that I had wound up going to the ER over that, and that I was following up with a cardiologist as a result. And so, in this little video, which I'm going to try to keep short, I'm just going to let you know what happened and what I'm trying to do moving forward. So, the cardiologist said that my EKG looked really good, and that all of my labs and all my blood work, everything looked really, really good. And she listened to me, said I sounded really good, and she said, so based on um, my health history and all of the data that she had at that point, that she didn't think that it was anything to do with my heart at all. That she believed that it was esophageal spasms because I had been having some pretty intense acid reflux, which, to be fair, I have had a history of acid reflux, and it had kind of gone away. I hadn't had any issue with it for quite a few years. I mean, the occasional heartburn, which was easily treated with Tums, and that was it. Um, and so she, just like the emergency room physician, she kind of felt like that it had to do with the GLP1 drug, um, because she said that the esophageal spasms would occur after you had had a lot of reflux, that acid coming back up into the esophagus would irritate the lining, and then that irritation could lead to those spasms happening. So anyway, she's going to follow up with me in about 6 weeks. And if everything has stayed the same and I haven't had any more issues or nothing else has developed, then she said that I'm probably going to be fine to not go further with any other testing. However, if something further does happen or anything changes, then she said we would discuss um, scheduling a stress test at that time. So I feel like they are probably right, after doing a little bit of research on my own and then comparing it with what they have had to say, that it probably is esophageal spasms. It's an intense pain. It is a level 10 pain. The only other pain that I can compare it with that I personally have experienced is kidney stone pain. And the only thing that makes the esophageal spasms slightly less horrible is that they last much less time. They're much quicker. The pain gets over with faster than with a kidney stone attack. But in both cases, it's the kind of pain that will take your breath away and just absolutely take you to your knees. So um, I felt kind of silly because I don't think that esophageal spasms is anything that is life threatening. So it makes you feel kind of stupid that you went to the ER. And I don't know if it's just me or if this is a woman thing. You all can chime in and tell me, but I just felt like I had to keep, um, I felt the need to continue to explain myself. Why did I go to the ER for this? Why did I react the way I did? And I, I, I just thought to myself, it's one of those situations where you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because when you wake up in the middle of the night and you have that heavy feeling on your chest, and then you have the sharp, sharp pain in your chest, and you can't breathe. I mean, all of those are the signs that they say of something with your heart. And so, you know, yes, it was over in about 10 minutes or so time. And I had like just the two little episodes together in both cases when it occurred. Um, but and I could have just said, oh, this is nothing. I need to just, this is fine. It's nothing. Um, but then, if you drop dead of a heart attack, everybody's going to be like, well, why didn't you go to the ER? Why didn't you go to the doctor? So it's like, what do you do? What do you do in a case like that? And why, as women especially, do we feel like that we have to explain and justify when we experience something like this. And it's not like you know what's happening to your body in those situations when it's something you've never experienced before. Um, and I can tell you about so many instances like this in my life. Whenever I was a young woman and I first started to experience panic attacks, I have been diagnosed with generalized panic disorder. And for years and years and years, I have took an anti-anxiety medication because if I don't, then I have extreme anxiety, which leads to panic attacks. And the first time I ever had a panic attack when I was in my early 20s, I thought I was dying because you don't understand. You don't know what it is that's happening to you. And you go to the emergency room, and at that time, it was even worse than it is now. Now, I have to honestly say that at the ER, they were very respectful. They treated me as though, you know, what was happening to me was very serious. And I don't have any complaints with the way I was treated. Um, but when I was in my early 20s and went to the emergency room with my first panic attack ever, I got treated horribly. I got accused of being a drug seeker. I got just, I mean, it was awful. And those kind of experiences make you feel like you have to start justifying yourself all the time for everything. Um, and you know, I could tell you about from that time on, I could tell you about other times when it was a similar story. Something new, something you've never experienced before, something that feels really serious. And you go and you find out it isn't really, you know, it's not life threatening, but you didn't know. You can't know that. So, anyway, that's what it turned out to be. And I've been asked, well, are you going to quit taking your GLP-1? And my answer is no. I am managing um, the acid reflux, knock on wood, with over the counter Zantac in the 20 milligram strength. I've been taking it in the morning with my blood pressure medicine, and I have been taking it with my other medicines I take at night before I go to bed. And then if I have any like little flare ups during the day, or even like at night, if I wake up and I've got a little bit of heartburn, I've just been using Tums to kind of like bridge between those two medications, because I agree with them at this point with what I've experienced, and then what they had to tell me, and the things that I've read and looked into myself. I think they're right. I think it is just the acid reflux, and it is just the GLP-1, and I've figured out a way to manage it. So no, I'm not going to stop taking my GLP-1. This morning, I finally reached my first 5 pounds off. And I've started now where I'm weighing at night and in the morning both, because I can tell by what I weigh at night whether or not I'm probably going to see any movement on the scale in the morning. And if what I saw tonight when I weighed before I had my supper, I should see some more downward movement on the scale in the morning. And so, um, absolutely, I'm going to keep using it. I'm just now starting to experience a little bit of that, the cessation of the food noise. It's not totally gone yet, but it is definitely better. It is, it's getting a little bit easier now. And this is the help that I've been desperate for. This is what I've needed. And so no, I'm absolutely not going to take the GLP-1, or I'm not going to stop taking it, I should say. Um, so anyway, that brings me to the end of the video. I want to just real quickly share another quote from you. And this one I thought was really appropriate as talking about feeling like you have to explain yourself all the time. And you know, as we turn the page and as we get older, I think that this this is very apt. The quote I'm about to share with you. I had to look up. I found the quote first, and it wasn't attributed to anyone, and so I had to look up and see, you know, who said this. And so I hope that what I've found is correct, and that I'm attributing it to the right person. It says that and my My computer screen just went blank, so give me a second. It says it can be attributed to Christina Grimmie, and the quote says, "Confidence is not they will like me. Confidence instead is I'll be fine if they don't." And I love that. That is the mentality that we need to go forward with in life, especially as women. Women, and I know this is not true in every case. You can't lump everybody into the same thing, but this is a generalization. So it means that generally this fits most women. We are people pleasers, and we feel like that in order to move forward or move through the world, we have to be liked by people. And um, it's not possible to make everybody like you. It's impossible. And so we're constantly trying to achieve something that is unachievable. And I just love this idea that it's not having a mindset that, of course, they will like me, that makes you confident or confident. What makes you confident or true confidence is it'll be okay if they don't. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Now, obviously, we're still going to be kind to everybody. We're still going to try to be friendly. We're still going to try to be the person who helps when we can. Um, but you cannot make everyone like you. And trying to, it's a fool's errand. And so that includes always feeling like you have to explain yourself. You shouldn't have to always explain yourself. We don't see men sitting around explaining themselves all the time. Um, we shouldn't have to feel like we have to either. So I hope that what I've had to say has been helpful and maybe even a little bit encouraging. Just go out there and be the best you can be. And if people like you for it, fine. And just remember, if they don't, it's still going to be okay. Um, if anything that I have said here has been at all entertaining or inspirational or has helped you in any way, please like and subscribe and share this video with someone you know. I would really appreciate it. And you guys have a great rest of your day or your night, whatever it may be.